it's just a big commotion. So I was just letting the fans just kind of relax. Like we're not here to hurt anyone. It's a basketball play, and that's what it's going to do. We're going to continue to make basketball plays, and it's going to be physical, is what we're trained to do. But that was my biggest thing, was just kind of be a fan. Yes, cheer for your team. That's okay. But at the same time, this is our job. I'm not going to hurt E-Dub, and she knows that. I'm actually checking to make sure she's okay. So I don't like the instigating. It doesn't help our game. It doesn't grow our game. So that's what I was telling people, just to kind of relax. Like, it's okay.
The Las Vegas Aces, the team everyone pegged for a three-peat, are crumbling faster than a dollar store lawn chair. 3 losses in a row? Check. A defense that leaks points like a busted faucet? Check. A'ja Wilson still racking up MVP level hype? Big check. Meanwhile, while the world's busy bowing to Wilson like she's basketball royalty, there's another player quietly obliterating records, dominating every game and carrying her team to perfection. Spoiler, it's not A'ja Wilson.
And this is a problem is that in general, when it comes to WNBA talk, you cannot say that A'ja Wilson's not the best player in the world when she's not. Nafisa Collier is on a 7-0 Minnesota Lynx team and is averaging 26.3 points and 8.3 rebounds per game, and she's doing it on 51% from the field and 45%.
The Las Vegas Aces just dropped 3 straight games for the first time since 2019. 3 in a row. The last time that happened, Bill Laimbeer was still calling the shots, and we all know how that era ended. But here's the kicker. Despite this dumpster fire of a season start, despite a record that would make even the most hopeful fans sweat, A'ja Wilson is still getting MVP-level praise like she's single-handedly running the league.
Before Clark's injury, she was under 115 to win the award, while Collier sat at over 160. But as of earlier this week, Collier now sits at under 175 to win the award, while Clark's MVP odds lengthened to over 250. Collier's averaging almost 30.7 rebounds and 3 assists, and the Lynx are currently undefeated, sitting first in the
Meanwhile, up in Minnesota, Nath Akir is out here rewriting the playbook on what MVP-level basketball even looks like. And the contrast? It's so glaring you'd need sunglasses just to watch. Let's break it down with numbers, because numbers don't lie, even if the narrative does. A'ja Wilson is averaging 22.8 points and 10.5 rebounds per game. Solid, sure, the kind of stats that keep your name trending on social media. But here's the thing those numbers aren't doing. They're not winning games for a team that's supposed to be championship caliber.
A'ja shouldn't have won MVP last year. She has all these pieces, all these big names, and they're struggling. They're struggling. Visa Collier has, if we going band for band, Visa Collier has way less help. We're talking about superstardom. And she had a team in the finals, and right now they're 3-0, 4-0. She's averaging.
Now flip the script to Nafisa Collier, who's averaging 26.3 points and 8.3 rebounds while shooting an absurd 51.4% from the field. And get this, she's doing it while leading her team to a perfect 7-0 start. 7-0. That's not just good basketball. That's domination. That's the kind of performance that makes you lean back and say, now that's what an MVP looks like.
If a WNBA game was as long as an NBA game, Nafisa Collier would be averaging more points per game than anyone, men or women. She's averaging 30 points per game this season, and her spin move to the left in the pull-up might be the most unguardable shot in all of basketball. If you're on her back and you see her start to turn over that right shoulder, just start running down to set up the offense. And if she gets a head of steam going to the basket, she can put on the brakes or blow by you to scoop to the rim. She can score pretty much any way she wants as long as she's in the paint. She's even got the little Dirk fadeaway. Dog. Oh, and she's shooting 54% from 3. After winning Defensive Player of the Year last season, it looks like she's got her sights set on MVP.
If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe. The Las Vegas Aces 2025 season has been a masterclass in unmet expectations. Once hailed as the WNBA's unstoppable dynasty, the back-to-back champions stumbled out of the gate with a 92-78 loss to the New York Liberty, followed by a 102-82 blowout at the hands of the Seattle Storm. Their defensive rating has dropped from 97.7 in 2023 to 99.6, a decline head coach Becky Hammon bluntly attributes to a lack of old-school accountability. Yet amid this chaos, A'ja Wilson, the Aces star forward and reigning MVP, continues to dominate headlines, accolades, and fan adoration. Meanwhile, Nafisa Collier of the Minnesota Lynx, averaging 26.3 points and 8.3 rebounds while leading her team to a flawless 7-0 start, operates almost entirely under the radar. The Aces' struggles aren't just bad luck, they're systemic. Candace Parker's abrupt retirement in April 2024 gutted the team's depth, leaving Wilson, Kelsey Plum, and Jackie Young to shoulder unsustainable burdens. Her departure created a vacuum in leadership and versatility, forcing a reactive roster shuffle that saw Plum traded to the Sparks and Jewel Lloyd brought in. The result? A bench so thin that even Wilson's 31-point outburst against New York couldn't hide its deficiencies.
Wrong. The Las Vegas Aces are 4-2 on the season. She is averaging 23, 10.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and a lot of steals on 47% from the field and 26% from three. So Fia is shooting 4% better from the field, 20% better from three. Am I right in saying that? Yeah, 20% better from three. And she is also not statistically as good a defender, but she's a better defender. She's still averaging a crazy amount of stocks, but she is the better defender because she's more versatile. She defends better on the perimeter. She's not as good a shot blocker, which AJ Wilson is, but she actually guards people. AJ Wilson just chills under the basket. And in terms of getting in passing lanes, they're very similar. So, Fee is the best player in the world.
But here's where it gets really spicy. The Vegas golden child, A'ja Wilson, is hogging all the media attention, all the highlight reels, all the she's amazing commentary, while Kier quietly emerges as the betting favorite for MVP at plus 170 odds. Let that sink in. Wilson's 22.8 points and 10.5 rebounds per game look dazzling on paper, but they're symptoms of a broken system. The Aces defense, once their crown jewel, now concedes 10 three-pointers per game, second worst in the league. Back in their historic 28-point collapse to Chicago in 2022, Wilson's 20-point, 18-rebound effort was meaningless as the Sky exploited defensive lapses and sloppy transition coverage. Fast forward to 2025, Seattle's 75-70 victory highlighted Wilson's 19-point night, yet the Storm's 43.1% shooting and 36.4% from three exposed the Aces' inability to close out games. Wilson's stats, impressive though they are increasingly divorced from actual wins. Meanwhile, the odds makers, whose job is literally to predict outcomes based on performance, have Collier as the overwhelming favorite. Wilson. She's at plus 700. Not even close. These are both elite players, but only one is clearly outperforming the other, and it's not even a debate.
I have Nafisa Collier winning Defensive Player of the Year this season. Like I said, I think she is coming back into this season with a vengeance, and I saw so much good defense from her in Unrivaled, and I think that's one thing about Unrivaled in that 3-on-3 full court format, and even with the one-on-one games that we saw, players were getting exposed if they weren't able to guard one-on-one on defense, and Nafisa is somebody who exposed a lot of players with her defensive abilities, with her blocking abilities, with how quick she has gotten. She continues to elevate her game, and so I have her as a favorite, as my favorite for Defensive Player of the Year.
The WNBA GMs seem to get it. In their annual survey, 67% picked Collier as the MVP favorite. Wilson got 25%, Clark 8%. When the people actually building these teams and making personnel decisions are telling you Collier is the clear choice, maybe it's time to listen. And what has Collier done to start the season? 34 points in the opener against Dallas. Not just a good game, not just solid. 34 points. The kind of night that makes opposing coaches wake up in cold sweats. Then she dropped 23 against the Sparks. Her 57 points in the first two games are the most by a Lynx player since Maya Moore scored 67 to open 2014. And yes, Moore won MVP that year. The narratives around these two players couldn't be more different. Wilson gets the she's carrying her team's storyline while the Aces flounder. Collier? She's having a nice season while leading her team to perfection. Let's be real about Vegas. This isn't a slow start. It isn't growing pains or early season rust. The Aces are facing fundamental issues. Their defense, once their calling card, is now surrendering almost 10 three-pointers per game, second worst in the league. Pace is down. Assists are down. And they're missing their floor general, Chelsea Gray. These aren't minor hiccups. These are maybe we're not as good as we thought problems.